Hey, what's going on, guys and gals? Well, this may surprise you, but I'm actually going to start a video series on Mixing Station Pro. This is an app or a program you can use to run the X and M32 mixers. Kind of stayed away from this program for actually a few years, just because everybody talked about how complicated it was to set it up, and that's not correct. Now, there is so much customization you can do to these apps or this program. It's mind-blowing. This is going to be a little exaggerated, but there's no doubt in my mind that I could probably put in a request where when I clicked a button inside this program, it would tell my iPhone to call Pizza Hut and have a pizza delivered to my location. Okay? I'm telling you, it is truly that customizable. Okay? So we're going to simply go over the basic features. Right out of the box, this is what's going on right now. Now, I have added a few things, just things that, as I learn this, and that's what it is. As I learn this, hopefully you'll be learning right along with me. Okay? The iPad and the iPhone are identical. The PC version, which I'm using here, it's the paid version. It's $15, and it's probably 99% the same. There are a few exceptions, okay? So let's just go through and look and see what we got here. What I'm doing right now is I'm running a virtual sound check. I'm running through Reaper. I'm using the card as my input, okay? So here we have channel 1 through 16, channel 17 through 32, auxiliary, FX returns, mix buses. Now, I changed the label on this. It just says mix. So when you see these three dots here, okay, right here, if I click that, it's going to take me straight to the DCA page. But if I click and hold it, watch what happens. Now I can either open that in a new window, it's a layer, or I can edit it. So here's our 8 DCAs. So, the matrix and the main, here's your master, and then your mono for your center channel. And here are your buses. Now, the difference when you get into the iPad and the iPhone, there's actually going to be, this is going to come all the way down here. You can actually just scroll through that to find the mix bus that you want to go to. But it's so simple here. If we wanted to go to something I don't have labeled, mix bus 7. Let's say that that's a mix bus right here. And I say sends on fader. Well, we've got to come back up to our channels. And you see how they're flashing now? This tells me that I am on the sends on fader mode and not the main mixing mode. So at this point, I can add these channels, or 17 through 32, the same way. And if I click off of it, I'm right back to the mixer view. Okay? So, up here, these buttons, channel 1 through 16 with the meters you see, these are going to take you to the same place as what these over here do. So here, if I click, there we are, channel 17 through 32, aux, FX returns, the mix, again, this is your mix buses, as you can see down here, bus 1 through bus 16. And then we have our matrix and our mains, and then we have our DCAs. Okay? Now, a little bit of the customization that I did is I learned on these buttons here. You see when I click this, it says vocal or Vox mute. So I figured out how to get that working. If I try and mute the individual channels, they will not unless I come up here and hit mute enable. Then I can come through here and mute individual channels. but you do not have to have that on to mute a group. Okay. And again, here it's the fine. It's for your fader adjustment. I guess if you're going to be using something like the iPad, you know, you when you move it, it's going to move slower than it's moving right now. Okay. Here I'm just left clicking with my mouse. So if we come back to channel 1 through 16, if I click this, just click any one of these channels, that's going to bring me into the overview page. Okay, and here, as you can see, we have all these options. Here's the inserts, which we're not using any. Then we have the gate. We have the PEQ here. We have the compressor. And we have the sends. So this is showing me everywhere that I'm sending this kick signal to these buses, and I'm sending it post EQ because I can click on this and I can change it. A lot of this, if you're used to using X32 Edit, M32 Edit, when you go up there and you click on the Sends tab at the very top of that program, you're going to see exactly what we're looking at here. It's just in a different program. Okay, you got your pre-EQ, or you got your input, your pre-EQ, post-EQ, your pre-fader, post-fader, and your group. Okay, so that is basically the overview of this channel. Here we have the source, which is card input 1. As you can see, I have the low cut filter on here. I got it set to 44 Hertz. I've got it assigned to mute group 2 and DCA group 1. So this is the wonderful thing about this as well. I don't have to keep coming in and out of this page on these channels. If I come over here to this arrow and I click it, you see now we're on the base channel. So you can go through and set up your mute groups and your DCAs this way, but there's also a faster way of doing it. I'm just showing you, the introduction to this app or these programs. And as I go on, as I learn more about this, then I will be making more involved videos on all of this. Okay. So now we come up here. This is our meters. We have our in and out. We have our channels. We have the gates, the compression. And here we have the real-time analyzer, which I don't have anything going on at the moment right now. This is your mute groups. This is the fastest way. Again, when I was telling you setting up your mute groups, here, if, again, you see the 3 dots on this, if I click it, you'll see that it comes up right here. Let's see, right here. On the pianos here and the steel pedal. If I click and hold it, this, you see up here where it says 3, I can take and edit that 3 now and call that keys. Now, I don't want the steel pedal in there, so I'm simply going to uncheck it. And again, these, when you see these 3 dots, that means that there's a customization function. I'm almost positive that's what that means. Okay, so if we come out of the mute groups and we go back up in here now, as you can see, now it says keys. Now, the steel pedal. Remember, I took it off. I'm going to mute enable, unmute that. See how we had to turn that mute enable on. Okay, so now if I come up here and I hit keys, it's just those 3. Okay, even if I take this off, I can mute and unmute that from this position right here. Now, as I was saying earlier, there are ways to set these up when you start customizing this software to fit your needs. Right here is the Vox mute that I put up. And if we come up here to channel 17 again, 17 through 32, you see I've got the 4 Vox channels coming in here. If I hit the mute, there they are. Okay, so that's pretty cool. The FX, these are your 1 through 8, or 1 through 4, 5 through 8. You can see the racks over here. These are going across 1, 2, 3, 4. X32 edit, they come straight down. Don't let that throw you. It shows you right there, rack 6, rack 8. Pull it up. Here's your adjustments on it. And let's go back and go back again. Now, something else I want to show you here. You see this anytime you see this folder, mixer presets, and that's the presets that you have for these effects. And if you don't know about those, I've got a couple videos up there. There's all kinds of presets that other mixing engineers, recording studio engineers have put together for Behringer, and they're pretty cool. Okay? They'll get you real close. Here on the envelope is where you can show your scenes, your snippets, your safes, offline scenes, MS scenes, and the mix presets. Here, the arrow going up and down. This is for your routing, your input matrix, your input blocks. Now, the input matrix, I'm pretty sure this is Mixing Station's way of maybe one-to-one routing. I don't know. Haven't got that far with it yet. But I do know this. If we come up here and we go to the input blocks, this is what you're more or less used to seeing. As you can see, I'm using the card in 1 through 16. And then AES 17 through 24 and 25 through 32. I go back, and there we go. Now, this cog right here, this wheel, this is where you're going to start getting into your customizations. Okay? And again, we're not going to go through that right now. I just wanted to show you a little bit about, if you open this up, what you're going to see. These are your layers. This is what's representing. Remember, when we look over here to the right, this right here, this area, that is your layers, the layouts. This is where you're going to start getting into customization, because you can add a new, as you can see, when I click that plus sign, all of these green outlines now, you see the little grids over here. This is where you can start building your own design the way that you want to see it for your particular job. Now, if you're going to do a bunch of shows and you got a bunch of bands coming in and they've done their job properly and they sent you their writers and you got all this information, you can build this from your PC and then simply transfer it up there to your online account when you purchase this, and then bring it down for your iPad or your phone. Okay, as you can see, layout 1, it just added it. I'm just going to delete that. And we're going to say yes. Now the channel strip. That's what makes this channel strip look the way it looks. Okay, this is for your customization of the channel strips. MIDI, don't know a thing about it. Don't want to know a thing about it. Okay? And then you have your security. This is for your mix buses. And this is what people talk about. You got band members up there. You want to assign them. Let's say that they're going to have mix bus 9. Okay? Password. You see right up here, 6767. You can create your own password and give it to that band member. And that they will need that password to open up this mix bus, and that's all they can do. They cannot get into your front of house mix. They can't get into your program. They can't change layers. They can't do anything but assign inputs to mix bus number 9. Okay? So the categories here, we have 4 of them. You have the general, which this is saying is the system, the mixer, global knobs and sliders, the metering, and then the app link. I haven't got that far right now, okay? But as far as the general and the mixer, I have been playing around with these two categories, and then we come back. Okay? And that's it. I hope this has helped. Take care. God bless. And I'll see you on the next one. We are out of here.